All right. Well, Michael, thank you for joining and being able to share your expertise with our community. I'm excited for myself to learn. I feel like it's always kind of a little free consulting here for myself, but also for our community to learn what does it look like to do profitable networking. So first, will you kind of tell us who you are and then, yeah, kind of bring us into this topic?
Sure. So my name is Michael Whitehouse. I am the guy who knows a guy based here in Southeast Connecticut. And I got into this. People ask, how'd you get to be such a great networker? And I said, I'm not good at anything else. So I had to be good at connecting people. But that's half a joke, but half true. I first arrived in Groton, Connecticut here. I didn't know anybody, had no job, no business, nothing to sell. And I started going to networking events. And the only asset I had was the other connections I'd made. So I would start meeting people and make introductions to other people. And before I knew it, and I mean like 3-4 months later, I'm meeting CEOs, mayors, chairmen of the board, executive directors, the people who are running the county, running the area. I was getting to connect with no background, fresh off the turnip truck. And it was because I was making these connections. And within a year or two, I realized I was doing something repeatable. There's nothing special about me. Now, my extroverted nature is why I stumbled across it. But once I was doing it, I didn't have to be an extrovert to do it. Anyone could do the same thing I was doing. And so that's how I wrote my first book, which is this one here, The Guy Who Knows a Guy. Here it is. The Guy Who Knows a Guy, which it tells that story and also teaches through that. And then 2020, things went online. I was able to take that out of, Southeast Connecticut is not a big place. So I was able to take it to the world and meet a much larger network and a much higher caliber of networkers doing bigger and better things, and realize these same concepts that I'd perfected in New London County, Connecticut, work just as well on a larger scale. And again, very soon I was meeting, 7-8 figure business owners. I was meeting major players in the coaching space, and by doing the exact same things. And the main key to it, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this more, is seeking to deliver value to everyone I meet. Every time I meet someone, is how can I make them better off? Because that's the core of sales. How can I make you better off in a way that makes you give me money for it? But sometimes you don't give me money. Sometimes I just make you better off. And then maybe later you come back and give me money. So that's the basic principle. Start from how can I make you better off and worry about the rest later.
I love that. I love that generous posture there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to show up consistently and give. And yeah, it seems like it's working out pretty well. So, and even, having gotten to know you a little bit here in recent months, I can totally imagine you showing up at a new place and meeting those people. And you're, like you said, your extroverted nature allowed you to discover this, but I love how you've taken a lot of these principles and distilled it down for those of us who maybe aren't as pumped about walking into a big room.
And I think for those people, a lot of times, because you say, well, I don't want to give a pitch. I don't want to be taking from people. Most people are uncomfortable taking. And when you're taught to have an elevator pitch that talks about your selling points and your company and how great you are, you're like, I'm not, don't love that. So if instead it's your job is to go in and serve 3 or 5 or 10 people, well, okay, I guess I can do that. How? Well, make an introduction, teach them something, share something with them, find some way to make 3 or 5 or 10 people better off. That's your mission.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. That doesn't sound awful and uncomfortable. That sounds good. And I think so people are torn between, well, I want to be good and giving, but I need to be profitable. I need to make money. And what I teach is
means taking.
They're the same.
Which is wrong, but
it's not about altruism or being Mother Teresa or living a vow of poverty. You will make more money if you help more people.
Yeah, I like it.
And first, let me share the 3 basic steps of profitable networking that I recommend for people. And the first is knowing your goal. So what are you trying to do? And this means know your goal, big picture. I want to end world hunger, or I want to, retire, or I want to have $1 million or $100 million exit or whatever. And then also bring that down to smaller pictures. So, okay, I want to have $100 million exit, but before that, I need to have a $10 million product. And before that, I need to have $1 million this. And before that, I need to have 100,000, seed round, and work that down to what that next goal is. And then what does that mean in this networking event? What does this mean in my networking activities? So if I want to, if my next step is $100,000 in funding, well, I need to find someone who can give me $100,000 of funding, which does not mean the orphan Oliver, will you please, sir, may I please have some funding? Please, sir, please buy my product. That's not what it means, but it means being aware that that is what you are looking for. So if you come across it, you can find it. The second step is know who can achieve that goal for you. So if you're looking for $100,000 in funding, you would like to find someone who could write a check for $100,000. Now, maybe you will not find that. Maybe you'll find 10 people who can write $10,000 checks. But if you're looking for people who can write $10,000 checks, you'll find people who can write $1,000 checks. So you look for the people who can just do it, who can be like, I like it, done. That's ideal. And also it's more compelling. So when you're telling someone, I'm looking to end world hunger, and for that, I need to find someone who can write a $10 million check. And there's probably 3 people in the world who can do that. And their names are, this, and this. But, that's ideally who I'm looking for. And if not them, then people like them. People's like, wow, oh, that's ambitious. Who do I know who might know Richard Branson? Or who do I know who might know Bill Gates? Versus, I'm looking for people to do $1,000 donations. I don't know. But that's the first step along the way to the third step, which is craft a compelling vision. So you want a $100 million exit. La-di-da, I don't care. That's your exit. It's not my exit. I'm not compelled by that. But I want to create a company which will lead to a $100 million exit because it will change the way people manage their time or manage their budgets or stay healthy or whatever amazing new thing you have. That's a compelling vision. Also, a compelling vision could be, I want to be able to, return the favor. My wife supported me for years as I built my business. I want to return the favor and let her quit her job. And somebody might say, oh, I don't even care what your business is. I love what you're doing. You're taking care of your wife. Yeah, let me see if I can help you. It's somehow create a compelling vision so that your goal, which is exciting to you, is now exciting to them. And when I teach this, there's 5 steps. The 4th step is have all your tools, which means know your introduction and have booking links and that kind of stuff. And then the 5th step is always moving forward. So everything you're doing, you don't say, all right, so I'll call you later to see what we can do. It's at the end of the call, you book the next call or do the next thing or whatever it is. So those are more tactical things, but I'm going to focus on those 3 as we go through the different stages, because that basic concept of know your goal, know who can achieve your goal, and craft a compelling vision that is compelling to the network and the people who can achieve it and all that, that basic structure will take you a long way.
This is a solution statement that summarizes the problem I'm solving, who I'm solving it for, and how I do that better than their other options. But then what's the actual offer that they're going to buy? So now we're in what we call the discovery phase, where we're discerning that offer and validating it by bringing it to ideal clients, and eventually having ideal clients validate that it's a good offer by purchasing it, by trading value back for it. And so when you have that offer that you're like, okay, I'm ready to really go out and start selling this because I'm confident that it is the right offer for these people. It's the right type of value. It's priced properly. I feel confident, ready to sell. And so that's that discovery process, as you're getting a validated offer that's ready to sell. So when someone's in that stage, they have like we're talking about, they've answered a little bit more of that, what kind of business, but they're not quite ready to just go out and like sell. But when they're networking and they're really wanting to think about, okay, what does profitable networking look like for me in this discovery stage? Talk us through kind of what that looks like.
Yeah. So the great thing about the stages that you have is that they sort of dictate what that goal is going to be. So in that first stage, it's going to be, your goal would be figure out what is the value you can offer. So who can achieve that? Well, experts who have been around the block enough times to say, yes, I know that there's a problem over there. You can solve it with this over here. So then in this discovery stage, it's, you have a particular solution, but who needs it? Who will pay for it? How should you package it? How should you bundle it? So the goal would be figure out how you can package and bundle and sell this particular set of solutions. So who can achieve that would be, again, and here might be two groups. Again, the experts, the people who know this stuff, but also the potential clients. So the people who can help achieve that are the ones who are willing to, if you were to package it the right way, pay you, or the ones who are willing to deal with it in raw form. That's who you really want to be at that stage. Because when I was creating the networking concierge, it got started because I had so that first conversation was with someone who said, people will pay you to make introductions for them. I said, cool. Who? He said, I don't know exactly, but you have to figure it out. And that's when I moved to that discovery stage. And then I was having another conversation with someone, and I said, yeah, somebody mentioned that people might pay me to make introductions for them, go out and network for them. And he said, yeah, like me, I'd pay for that. I didn't have a program. I didn't have a pricing model. I just had this idea. And he's like, I want that. What are you going to charge for it? I don't know.
I'm totally curious how that went.
Let's figure it out. So, I came up with a price, and he was the first client. Ended up getting 8 more clients doing that. But so the issue is find people who have that need and are willing to discuss it and are willing to get to know it. Because then when you have those conversations with people and you say, I have this solution, you may have a problem that relates to the solution. You got any idea like what you'd buy from me? And so instead of trying to pretend you have it all together, acknowledge where you are. I remember somebody once said something very powerful to me. Because obviously when I started my business, I wasn't making a lot of money because I just started the business. I didn't have a clear offer. I was, driving Uber 25 hours a week to pay the bills. And then the other 40 hours a week I was spending trying to build this business, whatever it was. And someone had once said, don't let anyone know you're driving Uber because, nobody wants to buy from someone who's not making money because, you're not a successful coach and blah, blah. And so he kind of implied, don't let anyone know you don't have money because nobody wants to buy from someone who's broke. And this person said to me, he said, do you teach people to make money? Is your offer, I'll build a 7-figure business. I said, no, I teach people to network. He says, who cares how much money you have? You don't teach people to make money. You teach people to network. Do you care if your doctor's rich? No. Do you care if your personal trainer's rich? No. I'll work with a personal trainer who is really good at physical body stuff and really bad at money stuff. I don't care if he's good at money stuff. I care if he's good at lifting things and teaching me not to hurt myself and motivating me. Those are 2 different skill sets. So he said, it doesn't matter, who cares how much money you make? Can you connect them to all kinds of amazing people? I said, yeah, because I'm a great networker. He's like, that's what they're hiring you for, being a networking coach, not being a guy making a lot of money. So at that stage, in those first 2 phases, be authentic. Don't pretend that, I help such and such kinds of people to do such and such, because the people that you're trying to impress to hire you, if you fool them, they'll discover it when you get on a call with them and you can't, you're talking like you don't know what you're doing. But the people who would want to help you won't realize that they can help you because you're talking as if you're 2 stages further on. I help these people to solve this problem in this way. I got a program and I'm a big deal. Oh, okay. Well, you're fine then. You don't need my help. And they also going to assume you're making more than you are. They're going to assume you're at more advanced level. So you're going to say, yeah, you should buy my $10,000 program. And you're like, $10,000? That's what I made in the last 3 years. So, but if you're saying I am developing a program, leveraging my 10 years of experience, making connections at a high level to, to solve this problem, or I'm developing, based on my 15 years as a nurse and 8 years as a holistic healer, I'm developing a program to help menopausal women to balance their hormones and health. And I'm looking for support to create the most valuable program I can to serve my audience. Then you're going to get people who say, oh, I can help you with that. Because that also might be a compelling vision for them. A 50-year-old female business coach might find that to be someone she'd like to help. There could be an opportunity there. She might say, hey, tell you what, I'll help you build your business if you help me figure my stuff out that you're an expert on. there's that opportunity there. So the same thing. I'm a personal trainer. I teach people to get in the best shape of their lives, but I have no idea how to turn that into a package. Well, there's going to be some 300-pound business coach who says, well, I could totally tell you how to turn that into a package, but I need to figure out how to turn this into a package. So let's work together. But by being authentic about who you are and what you have, and accepting you don't have to have everything, then you'll be able to connect with the right people who are that step 2 answer, the who can achieve that goal for you. And the authenticity will also sometimes reveal the compelling vision without even trying. You'll just authentically say, I'm very passionate. My mother went bankrupt when I was growing up, and so now I'm passionate about financial education for everyone. And so I'm trying to, I want to package this into a program that is going to reach people because I have all these skills to share. Well, somebody else might say, you know what, my brother went broke and whatever, and yeah, I want to help you do that. That's a powerful mission. Let's get on a call, see how I can help you.
No, I like what you're sharing, and it's really refreshing, Michael, because it's like I think that's what a lot of people feel, especially if you're in existential or discovery, and you're coming to a networking event, and you're like, I have to, have that imposter syndrome, like, and because they feel like I've got to show up like it's all together, so people are confident buying, even if I don't know what I'm selling, and that's not natural. It's not comfortable. But I like how you also don't need to show up in this like I don't know anything, but it's like you said, it's being authentic. And I liked the way you kind of paired. It's like I can still name the experience and the passion that I have, but then say, and I'm developing. I really like that word, like just that language of like, hey, I have this based on this experience and this passion. I'm developing this.
Yep.
And that's still a really strong position of strength, even though you don't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And so I like that a lot.
And you mentioned imposter syndrome is the feeling that you're not who you're pretending to be and somebody might find out, which is, it's not imposter syndrome if you're actually an imposter.
That's true.
If you're showing up to an event pretending to be something you're not, that's not imposter syndrome. That's just being an imposter. So, but
we don't want that either.
Yeah, we conflate financial success with accomplishment. So the fact that people take it to mean I don't have money, so I'm crap, and that there's like these linear levels of, well, there's level 1, level 2, level 3. Well, that guy, he's level 20 and I'm level 1, but that CEO over there who's making $10 million a year, he's great at what he does, and he's figured out the niche where his skills are worth that much money, but he's not great at what you do. So whatever it is you do then might be very valuable to him. If you're great at stress management or time management or leadership or speaking skills or any number of those things, you might be better at that than Mr. $10 million CEO over there, and he might be willing to give you some of his millions, not the millions, but some of his thousands, to transfer some of that, because we all have different strengths doing different things. There's not just one linear level of bad, medium, good. It's some different people are great at different things.
No, that's really good. And I think I hope that as especially those who are in that adoption stage hear that feels like a fresh breath that they can go into, both find networking events that fit well with like finding the right people, but also can go in with confidence and kind of some good clarity of like, oh, how do I describe, who I am, what I do, what value I bring, if I haven't got it all figured out. So I love how you framed that in there. So as we've gone through all these different ones, Michael, is there kind of anything you'd want to, as we wrap up, kind of recap as we think about not just networking, but really profitable networking? Like how does networking help you grow your business and help you grow your impact and your influence? Anything you want to kind of recap with here?
So the first step is always to be seeking to provide value in every step in the process, beginning to end, because by doing that, it will get you into more productive conversations. It'll get you to talk to better people. It'll get people saying nice things about you in rooms that you're not in. And it eliminates that stress of, what should I say? You should say the thing that helps the person you're talking to. So if you're always thinking in that perspective, also then people aren't going around their guard up because they know that you're always trying to get an angle. They know you're trying to help them. And you get that reputation as being a good person who's trying to do good for people. And then they're going to want to do good back. And then that basic rubric, know what your goal is. And this is not just for networking, by the way. This is for everything. When I do coaching, doesn't matter what someone says, hey, how do I blank? My first question is always, why do you want to do it? In other words, what's your goal? So I want to do more networking. Why? What's the reason for it? What's the goal? What do you want to get out of it? And then who can help you achieve it? And then compelling vision. In other words, what's the thing that they will find interesting, not the thing that you will find interesting. So take what you're doing, make it interesting for them, which is kind of comes back to that value thing. Value is thinking about what makes this interaction good for them. Compelling vision, what makes this interesting for them. So trying to place yourself out of your shoes and into their shoes is going to make it much more effective. And that's how you avoid being the pitchy guy who's just coming in and saying, check out my amazing product. Hey, you're looking to sell a house? Because I'm a realtor and I can sell your house for you. But like, no, I'm really not. No, thank you. So, but it's always about providing that value to everyone you can, as readily as you can. And at every level, knowing what you're looking for and knowing there is someone in the world, in almost any situation, there is someone walking the earth who can give you what you need. You just have to find them and make them like you enough to give it to you.
No, I like it. No, that's really good. And yeah, so I appreciate you walking through this. It's your enthusiasm and your experience really do shine through, as well as your extroversion. But I appreciate how you've called out, and I've heard you talk about this before, how you don't have to be an extrovert to be a really effective networker. And so if you're watching this and you're like, networking terrifies me. That's not my jam, going to talk to new people. Would definitely encourage you to connect with Michael. He does a great job of helping people think through like what that looks like. I'm kind of like an ambivert personally, so I can there's times where I'm like, yeah, and then there's like, how do I talk to as few people as possible? So yes, I would definitely encourage anyone to connect with you, and that's where it's great because you're here in the community with us, and look forward to you running some workshops and some other different opportunities for people to really leverage their networking skills, because it is such a important part of growing our business. So thanks so much.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.